Welcome back to Rock and Rattle Retreat. If you got a BX25 23, you probably recognize this. When you get your backhoe off and you want to use a 3-point hitch or 3-point, you actually have to put the 3-point on the tractor. You got those little pieces there that help keep it on. But you got to move this thing, which is awkward and heavy, especially if you got Pat's quick change on the ends. And try to get the fat tractor in there. So we are going to be sickle bar mowing. You see a little flat spot there. That's important. So one on each side, because you got to get that rod all the way up in there on the frame, and that's the pivot point, and those little pieces keep it from coming out because they off-center it, or should I say they center it up. Off-center, you can actually poke that rod through so that you can actually get both sides in, if I can ever get them to stay in there so that I can do this. This is the pain in the butt that happens. That's why I leave the backhoe on most of the time. So you get one in, and then you get that little flat spot turned up. Because the rod will go in there offset, so you can get both sides on, and then when you get the both sides in, then you rotate that so that it fits in there, and then it centers it up, and the rod can no longer go through those pieces anymore. And then the fun of, oh, that's right, I don't have the rods that wind in and out. I have this thing that extends in and out, and put pin in it, and you're good. So you got to put that up there on that rod so the arms don't come together and release the whole thing, and this little pin goes up there to keep that in there. This is a how I do it, not a how-to video. Then you got to find the hole in that little pin to stick that little cotter pin back in. I said this whole process is not easy. Okay, so you also have to get those, which the 3-point hitch attaches to, down so that you can actually do it. In order to push those down, you have to actually come around here and use the 3-point hitch up and down and push it down, and then push it down because it doesn't do it automatically. And then this arm, these pins, go in where we just pushed this down. I know, confusing. And you need 3 arms to do it, 3 hands to do this, to get that into there. Nope. Like I said, this is not how to do it, because this is how I do it, and it's just a pain to do. And it's heavy, and up we go. And the pin that goes in there. Luckily, I'm not using the factory pins, which is basically a big key ring. And the next one in. Okay, that's the cover for the PTO shaft. And spread these apart, put those pins in. Yeah, it holds it right there. Those turnbuckle ones, those were a pain. Okay, we are getting the sickle bar mower out. And if you ever tried to get a sickle bar mower out, at least this is on wheels. The pallet's on wheels and it's on the pallet. They are not very easy to move. They are very top heavy. And you could end up pushing it on yourself or pulling it on yourself. Luckily I don't have to back up and try to fit this in here. I can just use the pallet with wheels and push it on. And with the Pat's Easy Change, you can open it up here so they'll go on. And of course I noticed that these are real loose. I'll have to tighten those up, and you can't do it by hand. So I'm going to tighten them up and I'm back. Now they're tight. And of course, there it goes. That's the one. That was the easy one. There's always one that's easy. And then I try to dump it on myself.
It likes to fall. So, let's see.
Okay. That's a little too far apart. Pull the pin, push it in a little further, put the pin back in, and voila, it stays. Now, doesn't mean that this is going to be perfectly aligned here. Takes me a bit to actually get it to connect. Usually it's much easier than this. I must not have tightened them correctly. Yeah, we'll get it on there. Okay, PTO shaft. I keep mine out of the way by wrapping that chain around the 3-point top link. Then it doesn't fall down and cause problems. There we go.
And then we're going to take this all the way back to mid-mount. Get rid of that.
Sorry, GoPro doesn't have very good sound. Basically, you take your PTO and put it on the mid-mount only, and then you can spin the PTO shaft to line up the PTO with the mower shaft or any other PTO implement. Goes on much easier. This one you have to pull the collar back. I got another one where you push the button. They're all different.
There we go.
Lock it in place. And then this chain needs to go around something that's stationary on the tractor so that that plastic
will not rotate.
guard does not move.
There we go.
Because if the plastic guard moves and it catches you on something, then it drags you in and the PTO shaft will basically wrap you around there and keep going. Probably not a fun thing to do. Alright, and I have another chain that needs to be connected into the tractor.
This
That is on the mower.
mechanism.
This chain basically keeps the mower from dropping down to the ground in total. So you lower your arm down for your 3-point, and it limits how far it goes down. And it's adjustable.
Connected to this, which is one of these over here,
You could put it on either side.
so that you lower it. You don't want to lower it so far. Lock that, lock that. All we got left is the top link.
Now, top link. Alright. Go get my top link. Undo this. Can you spot the mistake I just made? Put it on the tractor. I did not
And of course,
put it so that I could get it up to the other top link point. So guess what?
mess up like this. Because
Gotta take it off.
that's the way it goes.
Put it up there. And then put it back on the tractor. Alright.
This has got to go in there.
And then this needs to line up with that pin there. So we'll shorten the top link
So,
by just twisting it.
shorten it up a little bit.
Take out the pin. Try to put the pin in. Needs to be short a little bit more.
There we go in, there we're in.
Put the pin in. There we go.
Top link.
Top link on. PTO shaft on.
PTO shaft. That's easy change.
Yeah.
I tightened up these because that was loose. Same with that side.
3-point hinge is still a little bit loose.
You can tighten up to make it more
Tell you it's a lot better than those turnbuckles.
even, or not even on each side.
Tighten that up just a little bit to kind of level out the mower. And the other thing we need is hydraulic hose.
Let's see if I can get this off of here.
Which doesn't really want to go, but it will. Alright, hydraulic hose
This guy.
needs to go up by the seat because I'm using
See that?
that's hydraulic cylinder. It's a one-way cylinder. It goes down by gravity.
Since I have
Third function valve,
this is the
which I normally use for the grapple.
third function valve, which is operated by this.
Just used by that switch and that switch down there.
And this one or that one. So I just have to find
But I need the
This one
hose
is what it
for the third
connects to.
function to be rerouted.
Here.
It's tucked up under here to keep it out of the way of the bucket and everything until I
Normally
use it.
have it on the grapple. So when it's not on the grapple, it just lives down there.
And that needs to come up here
And hopefully
and plug into that one. Turn it on, cycle the switches, make sure there's no pressure in it,
make sure everybody's pretty clean.
and then plug it in.
And there we go.
And it just rests right there.
So that'll run my sickle bar going up and down.
Alrighty. Almost there. This is kind of a production. Okay, hydraulic cylinder works. 3-point hitch raised it up, that works. Kickstand. Hold the pin. Kickstand drops out. What you can do is put it in the top and put the pin back in it. And I don't know why I'm showing this because I don't normally do this. Because I don't want anything to catch hold of that pin and then the kickstand drop out somewhere. I just leave it right here. Alright, other thing is that's got to come off, otherwise that sickle bar won't go down. But I do like keeping that bar with me. That way, if something happens, I can always put it back on and come back to the shed. Though they do have a way of doing this. This little tab back here, it goes in, and the nut goes back on, and then the pin goes back in that to hold everything back together. And it stays with the machine. Alright. Down on the 3-point. And then that's how the blade goes down. And back up. Alright, let's see if she actually works. And don't forget to grease it. There's a lot of grease points. Okay. And the center island here of our turnaround is mostly mint. So it now smells nice. Blade goes up and down. You can see it's still running. A little bit more of the grass. Okay, out on the road. Mowing beside the road. Just gonna let you watch this. So I'm gonna sign off here and you can keep watching stuff fall down. So if you want to keep track of us, subscribe, like, or make a comment. You can see what we can do for your comments. And we'll check you later. Keep watching because there's a lot of stuff that falls down with this mower. And we'll see you later.